Hello, thank you so much for joining this video tutorial. This is lesson 13, UFT Data-Driven Testing for Beginners. In this lesson, I will execute Automated Regression Test Suite. And this is the last lesson of this tutorial. This lesson is divided into 4 parts. Part 1, we will determine which test scripts to run. Part 2, we will verify the settings. Part 3, we will run the driver script to execute the test suite. Part 4, we'll analyze the test results. So before we continue, let us review the design that we did and see the status of the framework to see which components we built, which components we did not build, and we will not build for this simple data-driven testing framework. We built this script, local object repository, and the data table. So a script is designed for data-driven testing. We did 2 of them, script 1 and script 2. We build this component, config.xlx file. This file simply has list of all the scripts that we created. We build this driver script. We did not implement any libraries. We did the error handling, which is a configuration within UFT. We also did not implement logs. The logs and libraries are not part of this framework. We have it here in case if you wanted to do it yourself. But if I post another tutorial, in that tutorial definitely I will be including libraries and logs plus many others. So this is a quick recap of what we implemented in this framework. So let us go back to the outline here. Let's do the first part. Part 1, determine which test scripts to run. How do we do that? Simply, first step, before we run any regression suite, let's say right now we have 2 only. We may have hundreds of scripts, right? So this is the config file where we can come and say which script do I want to run and which script do I not want to run. So right now I wanted to run, let me zoom it first. Right now I wanted to run both, so I have Y. If I don't want to run any of them, let's say I wanted the first one, I just change it to N. So I want to keep Y for both because I wanted to run both. So now that I determined which scripts to run, I do not need this file at all. Let me just close this. Let me go back to the document. Now it says part 2, verify the settings. There are so many settings we can do within UFT, but I just wanted to verify 2 settings again. One is the test settings. You open it by file settings. And I just want to make sure run all rows selected. And I wanted to make sure proceed to next step selected. That's for error handling. Let me zoom it. Run all rows right here. Run all rows and proceed to next step. Click apply. Click OK. That's one settings. Another settings I can do to verify that tools, options, and then tool options, I guess run sessions. We want to make sure this option is selected right here. Run results viewer report. We select this checkbox and click configure. Once I click configure, we want to make sure that we have exported to a specified directory. So this is where UFT will automatically export the test results to. If you want to change it, you click the 3 dots here, it will change it. So click OK. Click OK here again. What's next? So I did part 2. Now run the driver script to execute the test suite. Okay. How the scripts will be executed, right? So let's just understand the flow. You can see I have 2 diagrams here, and marker registration is the first script. So UFT will execute this script first, and the flow will be, it will open the application, this guy right here, open Mercury, and you will follow this path 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 will be first iteration, 3, 4 will be second iteration for Mercury registration. That means 2 iterations will be done. In other words, 2 registration will be completed using 2 different data sets. And that's Mercury registration. For book flights, so that's the book flights. What will happen for book flights? Same thing, 2 iterations. But during runtime, you can see start from 1, open Mercury will call open Mercury registration, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be first iteration, second iteration, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that will be the second iteration. I already explained before how it was, what it's going to do in each iteration. So this is the execution flow during runtime. That's how UFT will complete registration and booking a flight scripts. So now let's not talk anymore, just run the script. So what I'm going to do, run the driver script. So by the way, how do I run the driver script, right? We already have driver script, should be here, right here. That's my driver. Let me zoom it again. That's my driver. And config file, we already listed 2 scripts. We already set to Y. So if I click driver, double click driver now, I already explained before what driver does. So driver, you already know what driver does. So let's just double click driver and let's see what happens. So we are in the during first iteration of first test. Right now, second iteration is done for Mercury registration. That means 2 registration is completed. Now it should, let's see what happens. Okay. So now is book flights process is completing the first book a flight. Now it's completing the second booking a flight. Okay, I guess we are done running. Let's see. You can see it stopped running. So what happened? I explained. I know it went fast. We may not be able to tell. So again, marker registration, 2 registration was completed. 1, 2 was first iteration. 3, 4 was the second iteration. 1, 2 completed the first registration. 3, 4 completed the second registration. Same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 completed the first iteration, meaning that it completed the first, reserved the first flight. And 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it reserved the second flight. So what's next? Next is analyze the automation test results. So results, because we created 2 scripts, we will see one file for Mercury registration, test result file. We will see another file for book flights. Let's go to our test results directory. You can see automation, that's my test results. And we should see our test results. So you can see right here, book flights. Let me zoom it. So book flights, this is the one, and that's another one. So we are interested in the PDF file. You can ignore the Excel file. I haven't even looked what it is. So let's open Mercury registration. So you can see this is iteration 1, and then iteration 1. These are the test data that you can see. Test data, email, password. So that's iteration 1, Mercury register action. And if I go to Mercury register, sorry, that's my iteration 2 right here. And Mercury register action, you can see username, and then you can see password and confirm password. The data all retrieved from the test data source. So that's my first test result. And let's look at second test result for book flights. So let me zoom it so you can see which one I'm clicking. Book flights right here. If you go to book flights, you can see iteration 1, and that's my right here is the login, sorry, username, password. Data retrieved from the test data source, and this is my login action. For book a flight, same thing, it used the data from the first data set, John, Doe, and the number. For iteration 2, this is iteration 2, you can see login action, and that's username and password. And book flights, book a flight action, you can see right here first name, last name, and the credit card number. So I guess we are done. So we created 2 scripts, we listed them, and we ran both of them as regression test suite, and we analyzed the test results. Thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate that. And I hope to see you in other tutorials if I post it. Thank you again. Take care.